What if I told you that for millennia, there's been a hidden code that shapes what a woman is drawn to, and that most men are completely oblivious to it? For way too long, men have been told that attraction is some kind of unsolvable mystery, that it's all about looks, or money, or stumbling upon the perfect pickup line. You hear one thing from one expert, and the total opposite from another, leaving you more mixed up than when you started. But what if it's not a mystery? What if it's a system? An ancient biological program running deep inside the human mind. Now, this isn't the whole story. Modern attraction is complex and involves our conscious choices, culture, and individual personalities. But underneath all of that is a foundational program, fine-tuned over millions of years to solve the most critical problems of survival and reproduction. So today, we're not just talking about dating advice. We're going to explore that ancient system. We're going to bypass the confusing, contradictory noise and plug directly into the source code. This is about understanding the primal brain. The first thing you have to get is that attraction, at its very core, isn't a logical decision. That initial spark is a primal, automatic, and deeply emotional response. It's a gut feeling that happens to her. She doesn't sit down and choose for it to happen. This isn't just an opinion. It's a foundational idea in evolutionary psychology. Our brains today still run on software that was written for a very different world, a world of scarce resources, constant danger, and the biological drive to pass on our genes. The great naturalist Charles Darwin identified two key forces of evolution. The first is natural selection, which is all about survival. But the second, and the one that's crucial for us, is sexual selection. Sexual selection helps explain why certain traits evolve even if they don't help with day-to-day survival, purely because they give someone an edge in finding and keeping a mate. For our female ancestors, the stakes of choosing a partner were incredibly high. Because of the biological realities of pregnancy and raising a child, a woman's investment in reproduction was, and still is, significantly higher than a man's. A bad partner choice didn't just mean a bad date. It could spell disaster for her and her children. Because of this, women evolved to be the more selective sex, developing a pretty sophisticated internal radar for specific traits in a man. These traits weren't random. They were clues that a man had the qualities to ensure survival and reproductive success. These ancient preferences can still influence the initial stages of attraction today, and the men who get this often succeed without even knowing why.so. What's the first and most immediate filter in the female primal brain? I call it the guardian at the gates. This is the initial test of health and vitality. Before she can even think about your personality or your status, her ancient brain is asking a single, ruthless question: is this man healthy? In our ancestral past, a man's physical presence was his resume. It told a story of his health, his strength, and his ability to stick around. Even today, in our world of comfort and tech, her brain still scans for some of these signals. The first signal is often linked to masculinity. Traits like a strong jawline, a deeper voice, and a solid build are influenced by testosterone. From an evolutionary standpoint, the theory is that these traits acted as honest signals. Why? Because maintaining them required a lot of biological energy, and only a genuinely healthy man could supposedly handle that cost without his immune system suffering. While this idea is still debated by scientists, the core concept is that when a woman is subconsciously drawn to these features, her brain is picking up on clues to a healthy genetic legacy. The second signal is symmetry. Ever notice that we tend to find symmetrical faces more attractive? That's probably not an accident of culture. Our brains often interpret a symmetrical body and face as an indicator of developmental stability. It's a subconscious cue that this person developed well, and while the link to actual health is complex and debated, it's a powerful signal of perceived health. This guardian at the gates is a primal filter. It's not about looking like a supermodel. It's about presenting yourself as a healthy, vital man. This is why getting your health in order, your fitness, your posture, your grooming, is the non-negotiable foundation. It's the first password you need to enter the system. If you can't get past this initial gatekeeper, the other secrets won't matter much, because you'll have already been screened out. Once you've passed the initial test of the guardian, her brain moves to the next layer. This is the second ancient secret, signaling that you are a provider and protector. For our ancestors, a man with great genes was a good start, But if he couldn't find food, build shelter, or protect her from danger, his good genes were pretty useless. Her brain is wired to look for a man's ability to acquire and manage resources and to provide a sense of security. Now, this is where a lot of guys get it wrong. They hear this and think, oh, so she just wants a rich guy. That is a lazy and simplistic take. It's not about the money in your bank account right now. It's about the traits that signal your ability to create a stable and abundant world in the modern world. These signals are things like ambition, drive, competence, and social respect. Is this a man who has his life together? Does he have a mission or a purpose? A man who is ambitious and working towards his goals is sending a powerful signal to her primal brain. I am a builder. I can create a world of safety and opportunity. This is way more attractive than a guy who inherited wealth but has no drive of his own. One signals past success, the other signals future potential. Status is another modern form of this ancient signal. This doesn't mean you need to be famous. It's about your position in your own world. Are you respected by other men? Do people value your opinion? Being a leader in your social circle, at work, or in your community sends a powerful signal that you're a man of high value. It's a form of social proof that confirms your ability to provide and protect. Her brain is basically telling her, if other people value him, he must have something valuable to offer. If you're starting to see how this ancient code connects to your own life, and you want to keep getting insights that go deeper than the usual advice, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're about to unlock the third and most powerful secret of them all, the one that really ties everything together. You can pass the health test. You can signal that you're a capable provider and protector. But if you fail at this last, most crucial test, everything else can crumble. This is the third ancient secret, and it's what separates the men women are briefly attracted to from the men they want to build a life with. This secret is about embodying the traits of the king of his world. And no, this isn't about being arrogant or trying to dominate others. It's about being in command of yourself. It's about your character. For an ancestral woman, a man who was strong and a great hunter, but was also dangerously impulsive, emotionally unstable, or just not willing to stick around was a huge liability. His strength would be a threat, not a comfort. The ultimate prize for long-term survival was a man who not only could provide and protect, but who also had the willingness to direct those assets toward her and their family. The first pillar of the king is emotional stability. A man who is the king of his own world isn't easily thrown off balance by his emotions. He's calm and centered, even when things get tough. He doesn't get rattled easily, fly into a rage, or crumble at the first sign of trouble. This emotional strength creates a feeling of safety and security that is incredibly attractive to a woman's primal brain. It signals that he's a rock, a source of stability in a chaotic world. A man who is emotionally reactive and unpredictable, on the other hand, just signals more chaos and danger. He isn't a king. He's a slave to his own impulses. The second pillar is willingness to invest and commit. From an evolutionary perspective, this is the ultimate signal of a man's value as a partner. A man who is willing to commit his time, energy, and resources to one woman and their family is showing the highest level of mate value. This isn't shown with words, but with consistent actions. It's reliability, it's integrity, and it's showing that you are a partner she can actually count on. Finally, a king has a purpose beyond the relationship. He has a mission. His life isn't just about chasing women. This creates a powerful dynamic of respect. Women aren't attracted to men for whom they can be the entire world. They are attracted to men who have a world and who invite them to be a part of it. This signals that he's a man of substance, a man on a path, a king ruling his own domain. So, when you put it all together, you get the ancient code. It's 3 layers of evaluation that can run in the background of her primal brain. First, the guardian at the gates, the test of health and vitality. Second, the provider and protector, the test of competence, ambition, and the ability to build a stable world. And third, the king of his world, the ultimate test of character, emotional stability, and the willingness to commit. Notice that none of this is about cheap tricks, manipulative tactics, or being someone you're not. In fact, it's the exact opposite. This ancient code is really a blueprint for becoming a man of genuine, undeniable high value. It's about building your health, finding your purpose, developing your emotional strength, and leading with integrity. Attraction isn't some impossible mystery. It's a system. And now, you have the blueprint. The real power isn't in trying to hack her brain, but in understanding this code and then putting in the work to become the man who naturally and effortlessly embodies these powerful, ancient, and attractive traits. The choice is now yours. Which of these ancient secrets was the biggest aha moment for you? Let me know in the comments below.